Hey guys, welcome back to a new video. In today's video, we're going to be doing a shoe battle. Haven't done one of these for a while, so I thought I'd get in front of the camera and do a comparison video or a shoe battle of the Nike ZoomX Invincible Run against the recently released On Cloud Monster and see whether this recent maximal cushion shoe can take down one of my favourite shoes ever, the On ZoomX Invincible Run. So let's get into this. So guys, starting off with some of the facts and figures of the shoe, the Nike ZoomX Invincible Run comes in at £164.95 if you buy it from Nike directly. So that's the recommended retail price, and then the On Cloud Monster is £150. So there's a good £15 difference there. In regards to the weight, the Nike ZoomX Invincible Run comes in at 297 grams in my UK size 9. And the On Cloud Monster comes in at 286 grams. So there's a little bit of weight difference, but whether you'd be able to notice it, I'm not really sure. The On Cloud Monster uses its Helion Cloud Tech for these pods on the bottom for its cushioning, whereas Nike uses its famous ZoomX foam. The same foam that they use in their racing shoes, the Next Percents and the Alphafly Next Percents. So basically, Nike kind of took a bit of a risk with seeing if they could get away with using this foam without a carbon plate. Would it be too soft? We're going to find out. The upper of the On Cloud Monster is a recycled polyester compared to the Nike, which is a Flyknit, which makes it very soft. And then looking at the drops of the shoes, so the On Cloud Monster is only a 6mm drop, which is pretty low for a high kind of cushion shoe, compared to the Nike Invincible Run, which is a 9mm drop. But anyway, let's get into comparing these shoes out of 10 for different categories, and then we're going to come up with an overall winner. So guys, the first category is price. So as I said already, the Nike retails at £164.95 and the On retails at £150. So the On definitely wins this one, but it doesn't win it by much. I've given the On a 6 out of 10. And the Nike a 5 out of 10. Neither of these are good value for money in my opinion. I think you can get good shoes for cheaper. Whether they're as good, debatable. But yeah, I think 150 plus for a shoe that you're going to be kind of using for your long runs and everyday running. I think it's quite expensive. I think you don't really want to be crossing that £150 mark unless it's for that top tier racing shoe in my opinion. But that seems to be the way all the shoes are going. They're all kind of inflating quite a bit. The prices, I mean, it's the same with everything, right? But yeah, so 6 out of 10 for the On and a 5 out of 10 for the Nike. Neither that impressive score-wise for the price. So guys, the next category is versatility, and I've actually given both of these shoes a 7 out of 10, and I'm going to explain why. So the On Cloud Monster does have its speed board in it, so it's not a carbon plate. I think it's made of similar sort of material to like P-backs. So it does give it a more responsive ride, and that's why I think this shoe is also usable for some kind of lighter tempos, just as well as the everyday running, your easy runs and your long runs, which is what these two shoes are designed for primarily, the long runs and the easy runs. Whereas the Nike, I don't think you're going to be able to use this for any kind of speed work. I think it is too soft. But I have used this shoe, as you can see, from all the mud in the woods, loads, even when it's been really wet. And I've absolutely loved it. I would pick this over a trail shoe any day of the week, just because I think it's super wide base, has really protected me from rolling my ankles. But yeah, so that's why I've given both of these a 7 out of 10. The On you could probably use for a different variety of workouts, but I think the Nike you can use for a different variety of terrains, especially with the On Cloud Monster having this kind of groove in the middle. You are going to get stones and mud stuck in there, unfortunately, whereas the Nike is all flat on the bottom, so you haven't got to worry about getting stones and mud stuck onto the bottom of the Nikes. But yeah, let's move on. So guys, the next category is ride and comfort. So I've given the On a 5 out of 10. I really wasn't that impressed. First run they felt okay, and I thought I'd give them benefit of the doubt and carry on using them. But as I've used them for more runs, I think I'm up to about 40 kilometers in the shoe now, which admittedly is not much, but I think it's enough to have a good understanding of how the ride and the comfort of the shoe is. So yeah, I've given it a 5 out of 10, really not been impressed. I don't think it's that responsive. I don't think it's that soft. Whereas the Nike I've given a 9 out of 10. I really love the feel of the shoe. Soft shoes are my sort of thing. And I think it's this plushy ZoomX foam is just what my legs want on those easy days and those long runs, just to kind of take a lot of the pressure out on those long miles. So yeah, unfortunately the Nike well trumps the On this one. In my opinion, it depends on what you personally prefer in the feel of a shoe, but this is soft and this really isn't, in my opinion. I don't think they described it as really kind of ultra soft Helion clouds, which make it for a really soft, like ultra soft ride. I really don't think it's a soft ride in my opinion. But hey, don't shoot the messenger. 5 out of 10, 9 out of 10. So guys, moving on to durability. So this is going to be a bit of a tricky one to compare. As I said, I've only used the Ons for about 40 to 50 kilometers, whereas the Nikes I've used for over 500 miles, and I still continue to use them for my easy days and long runs. I don't know how much longer I've got left in this shoe. I'm definitely going to have to be looking at maybe getting a new pair once they're fully battered. But as you can see, they've still got a decent grip on the bottom. It's started to wear on the lateral edge of the shoe there. But yeah, so I've given both of these shoes an 8 out of 10. I don't see any reason that the Monster wouldn't go as far as the Nike, purely because this shoe doesn't rely on the softness of the foam as much as the Nike does. People were worried about whether the ZoomX foam would be able to kind of last as long, because the main feature of the shoe is this ultra soft ZoomX foam, and it's well known for not being the most durable and long lasting. But yeah, I've used this for over 500 miles and it's still super soft. It's starting to die out a little bit, but I think if you're getting 500 miles from any shoe, that's a win, in my opinion. And yeah, so both 8 out of 10 for durability. So guys, moving on to stability, and it's a pretty close one, this one, but I think Honor's got to take it on this one, purely because it doesn't have as high a stack height, and also because the pods are a little bit more firm, you haven't got to worry about rolling your ankle as much. So I've given the On an 8 out of 10 and the Nike a 7 out of 10. The Nike, I think, would be really unstable if it had a narrow base, but because it's got such a wide base, it makes it nice and kind of stable in my opinion. There have been times where I felt a little bit unstable in it, that's why I've given it a 7 out of 10, and I do think that some people may struggle with this, especially if you've got weak ankles. Mine seems to, I used to say that I've had really weak ankles, but they seem to be alright these days. I haven't had any kind of ankle turnovers or anything like that, touch wood. But yeah, so I think the On just being less reliant on that soft cushioning and a lower stack height, I think you're going to be a bit more stable in this shoe. So yeah, 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10. So guys, the next category is lockdown. So as you can see from these Nike laces here, that's a double knot and I've not got much lace left to play with. I found that a single knot was always coming undone. Neither of these have a great lockdown in my opinion. They're always a shoe that I have to do up a few times. So I have given the Nike a 7 out of 10. It would score higher if it had longer laces, which would allow me to get a better lockdown, because I do use the runner's knot on these shoes. And I do it on the On as well. They do have more laces to play with. But yeah, I've really struggled with the kind of the lockdown and the comfort of the On shoe, and that's why it's only getting a 6 out of 10, just because I haven't really enjoyed it. And the Nike has been better. Sometimes I struggle with cutting off the circulation in the top of my foot, but that might be down to me kind of just doing the laces a little bit too tight. It's kind of something I always do. I want to feel like properly secure in the shoe. But yeah, so a pretty close one here. 7 out of 10, 6 out of 10. So guys, the final category, this is a bit more of a fun one, you know me. I want the shoe to look good, and what have I scored these shoes? I think as a shoe goes, the On Club Monster is a really nice looking shoe. It's almost like nice enough, maybe in a different colour, you could definitely wear this out with a pair of jeans and not kind of feel out of place, I don't think. And the On, it's a little bit chunky, but I think it looks cool. So I have given the On Club Monster a 7 out of 10, and I've given the Nike Invincible 7 out of 10 as well. I think they're both pretty cool looking shoes. I definitely wouldn't say they're ugly, not in my opinion. I think maybe the big heel on the back maybe is the worst bit about the Nike. And they're On, as I said, it's quite a smart looking shoe, but I think the clouds with like these little bubbles, they do look a little bit odd from the side. But yeah, this category is just a bit of a fun one. So yeah, both 7 out of 10 for this one, but I don't think this really impacts whether or not I'd buy the shoe again. So guys, overall these shoes, I score them on 7 categories of 10. So the Nike has scored 50 out of 70, and the On has scored 47 out of 70. So really not that massively kind of different in the scoring system. This equates to about 71%. This equates to about 67% if out of 100 works better for you. But I don't actually think that tells the full story about these shoes. I think the Nike is massively better. I know it's a little bit more expensive, but I would pick this off the shelf every single time over the On. It was my first pair of Ons that I've ever tried, and if I'm honest, I'm not really kind of holding out too much hope for trying others in the future, just because I don't know, I just didn't live up to the hype as much as I was expecting it to. I'd seen really good things about the shoe, and yeah, I was just a little bit underwhelmed in the end. But yeah, will I be purchasing the Invincible Run 2, which is soon to be released? It's released in other countries, but hasn't released in England yet. Or would I stick to the On Cloud Monster? I would definitely pick the Invincible Run 2s when they eventually come out. So I'm gonna hopefully get my hands on a pair of them, because these are my pack horse shoe. This is what I use all of my daily mileage in, is this shoe. And as you can see, it's starting to rip on the upper. And yeah, this has been put through everything. Really thick mud in the woods out the back of my house, road, dust, beach. Yeah, it's been through everything, this shoe, and I've absolutely loved it. So yeah, the conclusion of today's video, guys, is that I would pick the Nike Invincible Run over the On Cloud Monster every day of the week. But by all means, try these shoes on a treadmill before you kind of take your pick. But yeah, Invincible Run for me. So yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed today's video, guys. I haven't done a shoe battle in a while, so I thought, my favourite shoe that I've got compared to a new shoe that I've recently got. So we'll see how they get on. But yeah, the Nike Invincible Run ZoomX is the winner of today's video. So I hope you enjoyed. Please like, subscribe, share with your running buddies. It's free for you, and it means a lot to me. And we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.